Public Health is recommending that building owners and managers take steps to minimize water stagnation during closure. The quality of water can be compromised when sitting in a building plumbing systems for extended periods of time. Sediment can build up in pipes, creating mechanical problems, and bacterial growth can also occur in water treatment equipment such as softeners, filters, plumbing fixtures, and hot water heaters that have not been in use regularly. Legionella, a pathogenic bacteria, can cause serious and life-threatening diseases, and this thrives in stagnant water. To protect the health of employees, water should be flushed thoroughly in a plumbing system to remove any stagnant water. Please contact your local water utility, Missouri American Water, about water quality issues and to coordinate maintenance activities. We will have a complete set of guidelines from our Public Health Department available at stlcorona.com on Monday. Last week, we made a few changes in youth sports guidelines after meeting with those in the industry, and we appreciate their input. Those took effect on August 7th. Today, I'm announcing similar guidelines for adult sports that will take effect on Monday. The data shows an unacceptable increase in COVID-19 cases in the 20 to 29-year-old age group and the 30 to 39-year-old age group. In addition to measures we have taken to close bars and limit crowd sizes, we are now issuing new guidelines for adult sports. Adult sports, like youth sports, will be categorized according to the level and frequency of contact. For sports where there is a high frequency of contact, like football, the guidelines will now be similar to youth sports. High frequency contact sports, team workouts, and practices are allowed with these restrictions. Team contact drills are allowed with groups of 20 athletes or fewer, and this is up from a maximum of 10 athletes. 2 coaches will be permitted for the 20 participants, and in the past there was only 1 coach permitted. Each group of athletes, not to exceed 20 per group, must remain in a separate single space from other groups, and they must be separated from the other groups by a 20 feet of space or a 20-foot barrier. And this barrier must be clearly demarcated with tape or cones or a wall. These changes will allow for more participation in drills, in workouts, and will allow them to occur in the same athletic complex. But as a reminder, in high frequency contact sports, there is still not allowed any games or scrimmages or tournaments or competitions. High frequency contact sports include basketball, boxing, tackle and flag football, martial arts, rugby, water polo, and wrestling. Also new in adult sports, we now have 3 classifications. In addition to high frequency contact and low frequency contact, we've created a moderate frequency contact level of adult sports. These include contact between players, but restrictions can limit the amount of contact players have with each other. And these sports include things like baseball, cheerleading, rowing, dance, ice hockey, lacrosse, racquetball, soccer, and others. For these moderate frequency sports, the number of participants is increased to 30, but the same 20-foot barrier between single spaces of scrimmages has to be maintained. In moderate frequency sports, scrimmages are permitted. For low frequency contact sports, where players have little contact with each other because of the nature of the sport, full team practices and intra-squad scrimmages will be permitted. Tournaments that only involve individual players, like golf, are allowed as well. But again, all social distancing guidelines must be followed. Low frequency contact sports include diving, gymnastics, bicycling, track and field events, and swimming. In all sports, regardless of classifications, face coverings must be worn whenever athletes are not doing vigorous physical activity. Social distancing must be followed whenever possible and is required when not an active participant. Coaches must always wear face coverings and no spectators are permitted. If there are any questions regarding which category a sport would fall under, please contact our Department of Public Health through our website, stlcorona.com. Adult sports guidelines apply to individuals 19 or older, and all college sports are allowed if the governing body allows for these sports and provides specific recommendations. Regardless, playing sports with or against other individuals holds an inherent risk that someone could contract COVID-19 and pass it along to family members, people at work, or people in a household. So please consider these risks when participating in organized sports. Teams, clubs, leagues, and organizers should also be familiar with these recommendations, but also recommendations that are given by state, national, or local governing bodies. To read our county guidelines on adult sports, you can find them at stlcorona.com. Thank you, and I would be glad to take any questions.
Everything.
Anything, Doug? Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend.